straightforward. He punches, and he punches really, really hard.
All the punching. All the
Yeah.
punching.
He's
Throwing the
got-
haymakers.
That's exactly right. This is not a martial artist. You know, he is not. There's not a lot of finesse here.
Right.
One of the first moves I'd like to show is his forward 4, which is like his
Ooh, the
pretty
knee.
good advancing mid. He slams you down. A lot of his moves are high, so this is kind of one you want to use when you want to go
Blam,
mid.
blam.
Another
Is
really
that a
good-
string right there?
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, at the end is just a 1+3 input.
You know I love them.
Right.
Very Jackie White.
Another
Very
really,
Jackie
really
like.
good mid up close is his back 1. And it has 2 options. Back 1-1 pops them up, and back 1-2 is mid-mid and is safer.
Put the
I
back
really
on the
hope
shoulder.
he's got some cool air combos, but we'll have to wait, I
Well,
guess.
I'm sure we'll see that. He also has some really interesting mix-ups to open up the opponent. Like, for example, his sweep is pretty unique because he drops down and does extra damage
Because he's that fast.
because he's super, super fast.
What a show off.
He also has forward 3 where he literally just stomps the ground and
Forward
creates an
3?
earthquake.
Ooh,
strong.
that's insane.
And
That
then
was
I think
fast.
this is one of his coolest moves. He has an awesome long-range overhead
Oh
where
shit!
he
Overhead.
sits across the screen super fast, and
That's
he's up
just
close,
fast.
holds it behind you,
Oh.
and knock you down.
And that's just a button.
No.
Yeah, it's just
That's
forward
cool.
2.
What?
And you can see it has really good range.
That's all I'm gonna need.
We don't
That's
want
it.
this.
Yeah, you can mix that up with the
Oh
sweep.
my god.
Man, he just loves putting people's faces in the ground.
Yeah, he's a strong guy. So let's go over his special moves. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
One unique thing about Omni-Man is he actually has a lot of aerial mobility. All of his special moves can be done in the air. He has ground and air versions of all of them, which is
Wow.
pretty unique to MK. First one I'd like to show is the Mega Clap.
This is
Stands
definitely
together. It's not
Yeah,
pancake,
Sub-Zero.
it's the Mega Clap.
Bread.
Sends them very, very far. It's a great
at that.
combo ender with Punisher.
That's so good of a range.
Mid-range
What the
footsie
fuck
tool.
are their range?
Could you almost use it like zoning too?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Keep
Yeah.
them
Oh.
in, keep them out.
Doesn't go full screen.
Not full screen, but the EX version goes even further
Watch
and will destroy
Oh
projectiles.
hell no.
Oh, okay. Man, he's just tearing up the
Did he
ground.
say if that
Everything
was
he
a bit
does.
high or what?
He also has this big charge move where
Bread.
he literally just like
Wow.
charges in with his chest. And we've all learned in the 90s in N64 wrestling games that if you
I
put
know,
your
I wish
chest
I could
out,
see it on
you're
block
blocking
right now.
moves. So he can just barge in.
Whoa.
And the EX version has armor, so this is kind of as advancing. You think they're gonna do like a projectile, you want to get in.
You can get
Kind
in
of
with
similar
it.
like a Johnny Cage Shadow Kick.
Bullshit.
Another special move he has that, and you'll see this, being able to close the gap is a reoccurring theme with Omni-Man.
Gotcha.
Because he
He
wants
has
to get in
this.
there and punch.
Exactly, torpedo move. And
Bro.
superhero classic.
What the fuck
You
is
can do this in the air and
this?
it actually goes downwards. It'll pop the opponent up. Another move great for just full screen at any moment. You can see it's very, very quick.
So this is interesting though, because if you do it on the ground, you're not following up.
Correct. But if you do it in the air,
Oh.
it's pop
Bubbles.
up.
Very
Get your
cool.
cameo.
I also
Does a
really
lot of
like
damage.
how
That is such a fast
the
move.
blood from his opponent gets onto his
Yeah, he can
onto
get it
his
whenever he
costume.
wants.
It's
It's pretty awesome. Like I know that we get blood on everybody,
Sure.
but for some reason on him it just looks real cool.
It's just kind of iconic with
Yeah.
him, you know.
yes. So then let's go over his most interesting special move that I think
That,
really
that
sets
shit
him
that
apart.
moves away.
The Viltrumite stance.
Yeah.
So it's down back 3,
Yeah,
and he
see?
starts hovering in the air.
Look at that.
And from here, he has 4 different moves plus a bunch of mobility options. Let's start with the mobility. You can cancel it, but you can also warp forward
Oh,
extremely quickly. And again, he can do this in the air like all of his special moves.
this is pretty awesome.
But we'll go over his moves. The first, I think, is one of the key moves, which is this grab. And this is like his main combo starter. You can quickly go into it. You can even go into it off of the low I talked about earlier.
Hell no.
Just dragging people
I'm
over.
not interested.
He also has this move where he zooms across super, super fast behind you. That's a great combo ender. It's a great check. You think the opponent might try to like throw something out when he's in the stance, you can quickly go into it. He also has an overhead from anywhere on screen. He drops down.
Overhead.
So it tracks.
Exactly.
Woo!
And then lastly, a big anti-air uppercut. And
Oh my
zooms
god,
across
this is all like
and then
Jackie,
covers all the upward
Sub-Zero,
space. So it's kind of like the
Kodo,
upwards
and
version
Shiva.
of the zip
Another
behind you.
overhead.
I just love that spine break.
It's so cool. I like the facial animation.
I'm not. I better
So
play
then the
this
question
character
is,
because
how
I'm
am
not
I
dealing
supposed
with
to
this.
go into this stance when you're doing projectiles, you're doing long-range normals and all that, and
True.
he's just vulnerable floating there, right? Long-range
Well, I
normals
don't
and all
think
that.
he is.
No,
I don't
no,
think
no,
so.
no.
Floating there, right?
Well, I don't think
Wrong.
he is.
No,
I don't
no,
think so.
no,
In Viltrumite stance, when he does it, he's immune to all fireballs. So they will literally just pass through him as long as he's in. And that includes in the air.
That's some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen.
It's definitely
It's
awesome.
pretty awesome.
Just dodging.
The EX version starts up faster and also makes him immune to normal attacks as well. And then he can go in and punish them
That's so cool.
as they're recovering.
Finding times to use that's gonna be really interesting.
It's
Yes.
gonna be hard to
And
find
again,
time to
you can
use
do
that
that in
though.
the air.
Immunity's hard.
The EX version is
He's a
very, very
superhero.
quick.
It's gonna be embarrassing too.
It is very, very,
Bro, what the
very
fuck is going on?
That's
right now?
awesome. I love it.
And then
What is
lastly, for his
happening?
mobility, he has a
Lastly?
unique air dash. This
Air
actually
dash,
has a
Jackie?
physical hit attached to it. It doesn't just pass through the
Bitches
opponent.
playing guitar.
So you can see
Slash jockey.
he spins the opponent around for a free hit.
He's got everything.
And you can do two as long as you have meters, so you can do stuff like
I don't appreciate
To
this.
do
Look at
some
that
really
damage.
cool
97%.
So you can
No
use that
bars,
to
no
get
counter,
in.
no nothing.
you can use it to get out, and it'll always have that physical hit.
This is very
so again, to
Jackie right
recap
here
that,
in the
if you just
Tara.
do it for the first time, it doesn't take any meter. But if you want to do it twice, like
Is
in
the
a
new
combo like I
Jackie?
showed,
Nah.
it's going to take a
Shiva,
ball.
Jackie,
Similar to how
Sub-Zero,
Nintaro
Kodo.
works.
Very
all
cool.
together.
So I think in general, Omni-Man's a pretty simple powerhouse character to play, but he's got great mobility options, great offensive ability, and I think the Viltrumite stance is going to be super, super interesting. to
And
see.
people, yeah, people sometimes like of my level probably. When you hear stance, you get a little scared. But his stance is actually not it's not your
No.
typical like
It's not heavy,
it's not that hard to
he's,
use really.
Right, it is not really hard to use, and he was
You
not
just have to
meant
do
be.
overhead.
He is
Right.
meant to
He's
be
not
like,
I don't
just
think
like
he's
you
a
see
heavy
on
character.
Invincible. He is just he's just tearing through people effortlessly. That's exactly what a design
That's
team
all he needs to do.
went with, and I think they really
Yeah,
need
it
to.
shows, yeah, for sure.
Super cool. I love it.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really, really cool. So would
Yeah,
you
really,
guys like
really
to
cool,
see Tremor?
really,
I think we
cool.
would.
You know what? Let's just save it for another day, Raven.
Just save
Just
it?
save it for another day.
I'm gonna vote yes.
All right.
All right,
I'm
I
swayed.
guess
Okay.
we'll do
Okay.
it.
All right.
So Tremor's one of the most interesting cameos in the game, and I can't wait to see how it works.
Take a
Let's
look.
do it. Let's do it.
Uh-oh, Tremor
So we
time.
all know Tremor debuted in Mortal Kombat Special Forces, but he really made his big playable debut in MKX.
Correct,
Where he
correct.
had 3 variations.
Yes.
And that's something our design team wanted to bring back. You can actually go Aftershock,
I know.
Metallic, and
They better
Crystalline.
make him,
He
bro.
has a different
I'm
set
waiting
of
for
moves
Peacemaker myself.
in each stance. So I'll show how it works. He starts with Aftershock. You can even see in his life bar, and he's like the brown, rocky, kind of traditional looking clobbering time.
Looks good
Tremor.
though.
Right.
So he has 3 moves when he's in Aftershock. He has his Rock Punch. It's exactly what you'd expect. It
Nice.
just kinda
Lunge and
comes
punch.
in,
Yep.
it's
Makes
safe on
sense.
block. It knocks you away. You can use it to end your strings. He
Yeah,
also
it's
has
an ender.
Up Punch.
Oh, there
which
you
is
go.
a public
Launcher.
starter.
Which I'm pretty sure he also had in
In
MKX. Yes.
And then lastly, he has his ground pound, where he comes in, he does a low,
Oh,
and then
that's a
pieces
good
out.
move.
So if you have a really good overhead, for example, maybe you have a mid-screen overhead that's almost instant. You can also have a mid-screen low that's almost instant,
so good.
which is pretty awesome.
And that's just a knockdown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And
low.
so
I set you
you
on.
would say
bro.
Aftershock, he's sort of the attacker.
Yeah,
The
I would say
offensive
it's,
one?
it's
Yeah.
offensive.
It's
It's
about
pretty basic. It's the most kind
It
of
set you on right here.
standard Tremor,
Right.
kind of the one like base, which is why it's the default one.
Right.
So then, at any time, you hit R1, and he'll come out, and he'll cycle to the next one, which is Metallic. Now he has an entirely new set of moves, and they're all lava-based. He has his Lava Burst, which is like your mid-range, safe, kind of, there's no reason not to use it. He has an anti-air Lava
Nah,
Burst,
this shit's broke,
and then
yo.
this is really, really cool.
Very
He has his
broke.
bowling ball, which is a low, and if you hold it, it becomes an overhead.
Okay.
So he's got kind of mid-range attacks, plus a 50-50 from full screen that you can mix up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Again,
so then,
straight out of MKX. It's so cool.
right, and so then that gives you also zoning abilities or projectile if you have a character that is lacking that,
Exactly.
which is awesome.
Or
Which
if
is
you have
good.
really good
Characters like
projectiles
that.
and you want to double down.
Double
with
down.
mix-ups, you can go that way.
Right.
Damn, bro.
And maybe you have like really great anti-air, and this can be a low that is going to make them want to jump. You know, you could put out Lime's lantern, and then you
Damn.
do this. It's just all kind.
Yeah,
I
because
think the
you
creative
launch
freedom
them,
in the
right?
Canyon system is the coolest part of the game, right?
Can't agree more.
Yep.
And then lastly, one more stance,
Okay.
Crystalline.
People have been looking forward to
Yeah, Ed kind of teased it, and I think a lot of people guessed some of the stuff he could do.
this. Yeah, totally.
So in Crystalline, he has 2 attacks. He has Crystalline Burst, which will reflect projectiles, and then the big one. And a lot of people were like, "There's no way they're gonna do that."
They did.
We did. Crystalline Armor. So once he has Crystalline Armor, it's doomsday for the opponent. Oops, I was too slow. Oh my god. All right, here we go. So he's gonna summon the armor. And he will just absorb attacks like an absolute
Man.
badass.
Beast.
Right.
Man, this
And,
is broke.
So the way this works, the cycling, is once you do the summon, like I said, it'll go through. And it goes in a particular order. And if you hold down an R1, it goes the opposite order. So you could go
Gotcha.
from Crystalline to Aftershock
To the aftershock.
instead of and skip Metallic in between, if that makes sense. It's like
Yeah.
cycling.
Yeah.
So there is definitely a skill
Yes.
cap on like people who can go back and forth and know what
Exactly.
you're
You have to be
doing. So
able to
like
be
yes, they have a lot
good
of
enough
moves, but yes,
to
you have
move
to
back and
be
forth.
cycling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to manage
always
that.
Are gonna, right. You're going to have to manage the order that you're in because you cannot go straight from Aftershock to, or sorry, you can't go from Metallic to Aftershock unless you go down, like you cycle
Right,
back,
right.
if that makes sense.
Okay, you
I
have
just
to cycle
confused
back no matter
myself.
what.
But it'll make sense because there's only 3.
Right.
So
Right.
it's whether you want to go which order. And then there's a really, really, really cool twist, I think, really sets him apart. When you call him out, it's an ambush move, and you can transition into any of these attacks. So let me show you. Right now I'm in Crystalline. If I go to Aftershock and then immediately enter a back in R1, he will immediately, while still on screen, go into the ground pound,
Oh my god.
like so.
Oh my god.
Oh. Interesting.
Or next in the cycle
That's so cool,
is
though.
Metallic. So let's say I wanted to do the bowling ball. I can do it that way. Or Crystalline. I can do instant Crystalline Armor.
Interesting. Very
Oh
cool.
my god.
So that means all of his moves can also be ambush moves.
So
if
why
you
are you?
commit
Oh
to
my
bringing him
god,
out,
Anthony,
swapping,
this is literally variation.
and then immediately doing the move. Now that's going to be
3
somewhat risky.
variations at
You
once.
out of
Because
it,
Cameo acts like
you're going to have
variations in the
to
game.
be
I
where
swear to
you are
God.
in the cycle and all that. So there's
Man,
a
this
lot
is
of
broke.
risk and a lot of
You
thought
better-
that's gonna
everybody
go into
gotta
it, but
pick-
it's
everybody
extremely
gotta pick this
powerful if
game.
you master the cycle.
I mean, pick up the
And I think
character
it's one of the
and you have
cooler
to.
mechanics of the
Otherwise,
game.
don't bother competing. Don't bother
Yes.
traveling.
Excellent.
Very cool.
So that's that, huh?
I think we have one more thing to show.
Oh.
Okay.
His Fatal Blow. And the Fatal Blow attack that he goes into is pretty neat because, again, it uses his speed. You can see here.
I got hit. I got hit. I got hit, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's pretty
cool. So early access for Omni-Man is on the 9th,
That's right.
and then Tremor.
Very good.
Oh my god, this is not good. Oh my fucking god. That better be unsafe. That shit better be fucking blocked. I mean, like,
I also love. I always like the hair,
Punishment
the white
for
hair on
one
the
block.
side, because that's what's happening to me.
good. Oh,
Right.
same here.
So yeah,
bro, what are we?
I'm
We
fine
are
with it.
playing a different game right now, my friend.
You can see right there, Omni-Man tried to call out Tremor, and Scorpion actually stuffed it. So, Tremor is very, very powerful, but it's not just free, call him in any time. I think as the game goes
my
on,
God, that
it'll
was
be really
cool.
interesting to see the best
Yes,
players and how
yes,
they
this is the
learn
time to learn Sujinko, guys. We all have to learn Sujinko, literally.
Yeah, we avoided the
We
hellfire
better learn
there,
Sujinko.
too.
Yeah, that
No
was
bar
awesome.
350.
It's definitely his coolest move.
Oh
It's
my
flashy. It's
God.
awesome.
I really love how our design team and our animators and all that show the effortless
OMG.
power he has.
Yeah.
It's
I will grind this
And there's not, he's not like, it's like he's not even putting a lot, he's just
right.
just do
Yeah,
it.
it's very well done.
Oh my goodness.
Lava
I didn't
burst.
punish,
Ton of range on the lava burst.
but we're- At least that doesn't. It's not a restand. This is Sub-Zero. This is a Jackie.
Big
This
rock.
is a Kotal. And this is a Shiva.
Should be called getting dunked on.
Character all at once.
Oh, you get anti. You didn't really get a lot from it.
Just doing some spear pokes, really.
Scorpion and his spear pokes.
Oh,
Good blocks.
Fuck.
Convert.
Oh, good combo.
And the car.
Done yet.
The air combo
Look at
stuff
the
is very
damage.
fun to
19
do.
hits, 34%.
Like
Nah,
hitting that
okay.
air dash and seeing them spin around. Is
That's a
very
big.
fun.
That's a big shimmy. That's a big shimmy. That's gonna. I'm gonna get shimmied by that. I already can tell. I already got shimmied actually. Not being real.
God, Omni-Man's neck.
he's
Really
fine.
unfortunate. Yeah, he's very, very strong.
So sad.
His cape's on fire.
Nice
Oh.
time.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt pretty bad.
Take him up to the air.
I think it's really fun how slowly you put your face on the
It's
ground, how
great.
it kind of chunks at it. I think
Yes.
that's really cool.
He's also got something
But
really
he
cool.
doesn't have a problem going in.
They are again just very,
Bro!
very simple and to the point.
Was
Also,
that a combo breaker? It was a giant rock?
yes, it was. That was Tremor riding a
God.
giant rock. It was
bar.
great.
Go
I
bar!
was the first time I saw that. I was like, oh my god.
That's awesome.
To be fair, if you were doing a combo, it would break you, your concentration and everything. It's just a man surfing a rock drop down.
Looks like that's gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't see Scorpion making it past this.
This is so cinematic. I love it.
Oh. My God, GG's guys. I got hit every time. Not gonna lie. His gameplay does look fun. That is a fact.
This really is the perfect fatality.
Oh my god.
And just the
Damn
drop
near
at the end.
35% no
Nice.
bar. And it feels like it's not hard to do.
All right.
So good.
Super cool. Thank you to the team in QA
GG's
for putting
guys.
that together.
We got
Always
hit every
awesome
time.
fights.